It's not rocket science.
Not rocket science. Not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.
Blast Off. Welcome to Rocket Science, where we interview rocketeers and scientists and
Rocketeers?
I'm trying to throw you off.
Isn't that a movie?
Throwing you off.
We interview a guy from one
Just
movie?
kidding. I'm just kidding. Blast Off. Welcome to Not Rocket Science. In this episode, we're on another field trip.
It's not rocket science.
This time, we're at Josh Horton, a.k.a. JugglinJosh's warehouse, where he does lots of juggling, trick shots, and challenges. And he has 20, I repeat, 20 Guinness World Records. That's right. And he's a 9-time world champion gold medalist of juggling. He has over 1 million subscribers. That's a lot. He's the man. We're going to learn all about the world of being a juggling YouTuber. Because after all, juggling, it's not what, Anthony?
It's not rocket
all
science.
it is.
It's what you when you do it. That's how it is.
He's appeared on Ellen, the Steve Harvey Show, the Late Late Show. Here he is, Josh Horton, a.k.a. JugglinJosh.
Hello. Thanks
What's
for
up?
having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming here. Really nice
Yeah,
to not
of
have
course.
to drive to you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Do you, when you drive, do you juggle as you drive? Do you juggle and drive?
No.
Okay.
I'm glad.
I think we did it once for a video.
Safe.
In a controlled environment, but that's it.
Yeah.
Safety first is what I always say with juggling. Well, not
Yeah.
always, but driving is very important to.
Yeah.
10 and 2 is what they say in the streets. I don't know.
Yeah.
So nice to meet you, and thank you so much for having us out here. It's such a
thank
cool.
You. This is really cool.
Walking into Josh's, I call it gymnasium almost. It's immediately fun. There's
it is.
basketballs and baseballs.
Guinness
and
World Records up on the
there's
wall.
trophies and records, and it's everything I need in my life. So thank you. Thank you for having us here.
Of course. Come over whenever you want.
I'll be
And
here.
I think we're going to do some stuff after this, right? After we
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
gonna
going
do
to
some
put you
tricks.
through some challenges.
All
That
right,
is
we're
fantastic.
excited. What are these big buckets behind us?
They're
What-
buckets. I can answer that. They're big buckets.
He's not wrong. They are buckets.
Yeah, they're big buckets.
Honestly, when I was about to do my tour video, like showing my fans the warehouse for the first time, I was like, it's very dark in here. Like, there's not a lot of color. And I just was like, oh, let's buy some buckets and stack them.
Nice.
And it was just kind of just for a visual at first, but we use them all the time to like set up targets or, just as a nice backdrop or
As a challenge.
We use them all the time. Yeah. It's the best
awesome.
investment. Yeah.
That's very cool. How did you get into juggling? Like, what was your first?
Well, when I first, for him, I don't know.
I want to hear that after.
Yeah.
My elementary school had a circus club after school once a week. So I grew up in Illinois, and Illinois State University has a collegiate circus. So like the college students put on a pretty legitimate circus, like a really, really, really great show. And the college kids would come teach my school circus skills once a week. And so that taught me the basics.
What were some of the basics you learned? Like obviously juggling.
Yeah, that was just juggling. There's all sorts of other skills.
so
I just cared about juggling. But yeah, I started with 3 scarves and 3 balls. And then by, I think it was 5th grade, I was juggling torches and knives in our little elementary school show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Also, the thing I also tell people that's crazy now, like I'm not that old, but it just seems like such a crazy thing now. I used to carry 3 machetes and 3 hatchets with me to elementary school and keep them in my locker. Like, isn't that crazy?
That's just Josh. That's just Josh and his fun.
I don't think you can do that. I think you get like suspended if you bring like a keychain pocket knife.
Yeah, and let alone a machete.
Yeah.
And 3 of them.
3 of them.
Yeah.
And would you juggle them down the hallways?
No. I wouldn't juggle them, but I was just like, I had to keep them in my locker for practice after school.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, the thought of me juggling machetes is terrifying to me. How do you keep safe doing that? Like, do you have guards? What is that? Are they fake machetes?
You
Are
just
they
don't
real?
do anything that you're not if you don't have the skill to do it, you're not going to attempt it. So 3 clubs is the same as 3 torches, it's the same as 3 hatchets. And so it doesn't make it harder. It's like if you're a tightrope walker, does fire underneath you make it more difficult? No. It just adds a little bit more.
Might be warmer.
It's a more mental. Yeah, it's more mental thing. So basically, you don't do anything you're not capable of.
That does make a lot of sense, actually. It's just if you have these, you know how to juggle these. If there's something specific that's different, but like the pin, like a pin
club.
I don't know if I'm saying anything. Am I saying words? So you have the.
Picked up
I'm just started saying. I'm like, these are things, aren't they? No, but the
you were doing good about the buckets.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you were good at the bucket
So if something's the same size, you can do a machete or fire, is what he was saying. So right.
Yeah.
What's the next question, would you say?
Okay.
What is fire?
My question for you is, have you ever nicked yourself juggling with machetes, or you have a Guinness record for axes?
For axes and samurai swords.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever nicked yourself, like cut yourself?
No, nothing serious. I think when I was little, like I was stupid and would try to see how many flips I could do with a knife, and sometimes with like a little something, but nothing serious. My worst juggling injury was juggling a torch after it had already been put out, and I thought it was cool and it was still hot, and I like burned.
Well, don't try that at home, kids, unless you have adult supervision.
Yep.
Even adult supervision. Maybe think about juggling machetes. But that's so cool. I mean, that's amazing. That's incredible that you did that. So, okay, you learned it in circuits and you got hooked. Like, what was the hook for you?
Yeah, I think I had some natural talent for it, so I was good at it, and that's always something that motivates you. And I was the best in my class, and I got better than all the college kids that were trying to teach us stuff. And I was 8th grade was when you're too old for that program, and that's kind of when I was like, oh, I guess I did the whole juggling thing, and then I kind of gave up for a little bit, and then YouTube came back around, and that's kind of where I learned what was possible with juggling. Like before, it was literally just books. And so I was like, oh, well, this book goes up to 4 balls. I guess I'm the best juggler in the world. And then YouTube came around, and then I realized what was possible. That's when I started training again. It's also when I'd moved to LA, and I found out one of the best jugglers in the world lived nearby, and he started training me, and that's when things really took off.
So that was your mentor? Who is that?
His name is Vova Galchenko.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, what a name for a juggler.
Yeah,
that's
he's
really
he's from Russia.
And he taught you everything you know. A lot of it.
Yeah, I think I taught myself 5 balls before I had the courage to ask him for lessons, and for some reason he agreed, and really took things next level.
How did you meet up with him, or did you go to a show or something?
I literally just sent he had a website, and it was info@vovagalchenko.com or whatever, and I just sent him an email saying, hey, I live nearby, will you give me lessons? And he's literally second best juggler ever in the world, and he started giving me lessons. And
oh my gosh,
it was crazy! Yeah,
that's amazing.
He lived in Agora. My mom worked at Pepperdine in Malibu, so it was like a 20-minute drive, and I would just go drive for juggling lessons, and
that's amazing.
It changed my whole life for sure.
How often did you train with him?
I think we're doing 3 times a week sometimes. And
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that's why you're so good.
And through high school and college, I was training 4 hours a day every day.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
And what do you love about juggling? What's kind of like, what do you love about it? Is it your competitive spirit?
I loved it a lot more for a while.
You what?
I'd say I loved it way more then than I do now.
Okay.
So I loved the progression of it. And so I loved being able to put in work and see results. I think that's what's addicting to a lot of different skills in bodybuilding, all those things. It's like when you put in the work and you see immediate results, that's what's addicting, that's what's fun. And there's a declining scale of that. So the better you get at something, the harder it is, the more skill you need to, or the more skill, time, practice, frustration needs to go into it to see less and less results. And so that's when it starts. That's when a lot of jugglers burn out. And I'm not saying I burnt out, but it got harder to see those results. And then coupled with trying to make a living as a juggler. And then I also ended up having lots of shoulder and back problems. So that's kind of when all those things kind of combined was when I stopped training. So I don't train juggling at all. I also don't perform juggling anymore.
Oh, okay.
That was somewhat of an intentional shift with YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But juggling was very much part of my 90% of my life for a long time, and now juggling is maybe 10% of my life or less.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
When I meet someone, I don't tell them I'm a juggler. Like
Okay.
it's not part of my career or identity anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, juggling community watching. I love you all. It's like I performed full time for many years. So I was a full time juggler. So I made 100% of my income as a performing juggler, and then started working like part time for the social media agency. And then I learned about social media, started posting my own videos, and then that stuff started to take off, posting juggling videos. And I also grew up loving basketball, loving sports. So I started combining juggling with trick shots. And then I learned that the general public just kind of hates juggling. And so I was like, I can still just post trick shot videos and people like that. And that was fun for me. And then that's really when my social media stuff started to take off, when I just started doing trick shot videos.
So you want to be more seen as like an influencer now, or what do you want to? What's kind of your?
Yeah, just a creator. Yeah, I hate
Creator.
the word influencer. Yeah, I feel like that makes you think of like Instagram models or whatever, or the douchey.
You create and do very
creators.
cool, yeah.
You're an influencing juggler.
Yeah.
A record breaker. I'm going to
record
call you
breaker.
That was
that.
the other thing that kind of took me out from being a juggler, was when I was really taking YouTube seriously. I started World Record Wednesdays, where every single Wednesday, every Wednesday I broke a world record for 2.5 years.
You are the man.
Yeah. And so that was it. Started with juggling, but then like started doing other stuff.
What was your first world record?
My first Guinness World Record was most chest rolls of 3 basketballs. So it's juggling 3 basketballs and then rolling. Every right-handed throw rolls across my chest.
And how was it? A length?
It was most in a minute. I don't remember how many it was. And then the same day, so like a couple minutes later, I did longest duration to juggle 5 basketballs, which I'm much more proud of. That was
How did you research what to do every Wednesday? Then you were like, okay, this Wednesday we need to do.
It was tough.
Yeah, I bet.
It was tough. Sometimes we would set records. We would find something that hadn't been set as a record yet. But then it was also a way for me to have other guests. I have so many talented friends that I have on the channel, so it was also a way to like feature other talented people.
That's great.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
I did it for like almost 3 years, every single Wednesday without missing a Wednesday. And then during COVID, we kind of put it on hold because it was hard to travel places, and so like the series got kind of watered down. And now we're bringing it back right now, which is exciting. Yeah,
nice. So what was the last record for like the last Wednesday you did?
We just had this guy named David Rush on as a guest, and he's like a serial record breaker. Like, you think my 20 is impressive, he has like 320.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'd never met him. I've known about him. He's also a good juggler. And so he came, and we had like all these like tests prepared for him. And we did a 2-on-2 challenge, me and David versus 2 of my friends who don't have any records. And so we tried to see, if we would have an advantage in trying all these different world records. And the last one we did was most hugs in a minute. And David, who I just met, and I hugged hundreds of times in a minute, and now it's an official Guinness World Record.
I love that that's official too.
Oh my gosh. So so what is the vetting process for Guinness World Record? Like, what do you have to do?
It is a process. So
like,
your
how do
options
they
are pay.
judge it? Yeah.
Your options are you pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to have someone come out to do it.
Okay.
Mainly they do that for like when a corporate, they want Oscar Mayer Weenie wants to do the biggest hot dog or whatever. They charge them a bunch of money. They fly out. There's a website where you submit, and it's like you say you want to break a record. You submit that application. They like let you know 6 to 9 months later, like, okay, you can try it now. Here's the rules. Then you film it. Have to have all these witnesses. Submit all these forms. And then you submit all the stuff, and then they let you know again 6 to 9 months whether you did it or not. So it's a process.
Oh my
And that's
gosh.
there's also ways to like you can pay to expedite the online submissions process. So I've done most of mine as like a collaboration with Guinness World Records, where we do a YouTube collaboration or some sort of like event. Like I did a record live on like Kelly and Ryan, where they were promoting the new book. And they had me on to like break a record. And,
Whoa.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that on the podcast.
People have you on to break records.
Yeah.
It's not broken yet. They're like, we know a guy who can break a record or two.
Yeah.
This guy's done a few of them. Let's have him on, and he'll break a record. No
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A record breaker. I wish that was my job, a record breaker. That's what I do. What do you do for a living? Break records. That's awesome.
That's David. I think that's David Rush's new title. I think he's David Record Breaker Rush.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
cool.
his
You
thing.
should change that legally. Legally.
Middle name.
Put
Record
that
Breaker. What's your
record
middle
break-
name? Record Breaker.
And yours, Bill. Or whatever.
How many balls can you juggle at once?
I can do 7 pretty comfortably for a while, and
Yeah.
then I have done 8 and 9 in my life, but I haven't
What's
tried it in
the
probably
most
6 years.
that someone's done? Do you know? Or
I know 13 balls has been flashed. I think
Whoa.
more than a flash now, so like 15 or 16. Don't
And
quote me on that. Someone smarter. I'm not as connected and obsessed as I used to be. But I think it's more impressive when someone. I think the record for 11 is getting really impressive. Like,
what does flash mean? That means just
so that
like
means if you're
throw
juggling
up
3
and then-
balls, if it's 3 balls, it's 3 throws, 3 catches. It's just however many you're juggling.
Oh wow.
So someone I know 13 has been flashed. I want to say more than that, but I think like 11 has been like 26 or 28 catches or something
Wow.
like that, which is way more impressive to me.
When you so I feel like this is a question I'm just wondering, not in juggling in particular, maybe just trick shots, whatever. Do you at one point start like, okay, I got to make 10 or take 10 shots, and then it goes into minutes and hours? So like, I'm going to do the, so it's like I did 100 shots in a minute, but then when you're practicing, you kind of do so many that you just are like, I need to juggle for an hour, or I need to do this shot for an hour. Does that make
Like
sense?
when I was training?
Yeah, or just now or in general, when you're doing things. Yeah, I guess when you're training or when you're practicing. I guess, yeah, when you're training, do you start like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And then when you're like getting better, do you do like, all right, 20 minutes?
When I was training juggling like hardcore, doing the 4 hours, it was very organized and like it was planned out as if you were training for a sport or something.
Yeah.
So I would do an hour of balls, an hour of clubs, an hour of rings, and then an hour of whatever I was focusing on that day.
But not counting. So you're not like 1, 2, I need to
Sometimes
do
I would count
30.
catches.
Or,
Yeah, I would have different things that like when I was training 7 balls, it was like I would do 14 catches 10 times, and I would do 28 catches 10 times, and then several times of how many I can go until I drop. So yeah, it was very, very much structured.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That makes sense.
That's very cool. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, what do you do when you're not doing all this stuff? What do you like to do just when you're not breaking records and being the coolest guy I've ever met?
I have a wife and a kid, and so when I come home from the warehouse and filming, I'm hanging out with them. My son, who is just turned 2,
Aw.
is already obsessed with trick shots. It's all he wants to
really?
do. Yeah,
That's so
it's
cute.
really
awesome.
weird. Like he's good. I'll show you guys some videos. Throwing a ping pong ball into a cup at 1 year old, he's way too good at it.
Aw.
It's really crazy.
That's amazing.
And yeah, he loves.
You're his hero.
He loves throwing things into things. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see when.
and does
when
the
he's-
wife do any
No,
juggling
no,
or trick
no,
shots?
no.
No, okay.
Yeah.
What does she do?
So she
Oh,
does
nice,
all
nice.
of our logistics and accounting and all of that stuff.
Oh, that's a really.
How did you two meet?
We met in high school.
Whoa,
we
high
dated,
school
we dated,
sweetheart.
We dated for 3 months in high school, and then we got back together 7 years later.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
High school sweethearts. You
so
heard it first.
You have like a juggling business, right?
Yeah, so I own jugglingwarehouse.com, and so it's
Whoa.
a place to sell juggling
That's
stuff. yeah.
awesome. And what kind of stuff do you sell?
Everything. So there's not just juggling stuff. There's any possible thing you could want juggling, but then there's yo-yos, there's kendama, there's frisbees, there's boomerangs, there's all sorts of like skill toys is kind of what we say we sell. So any skill related toys.
Now, I am very versed in kendama, but if you could please tell the people that don't know what
Yeah.
that is, what it is, I would appreciate
Well,
that.
as you know,
I know, of
it's
course.
a Japanese toy
Yep.
that has a ball on a string connected to this piece of wood that has 3 cups and a spike on it. So you pop up the ball, you can catch it on the cup, and then you can also spike it on the spike.
I can't believe you guys didn't know what that was. I mean, I knew it right away, so it's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. Thank you for
Welcome. Yeah.
humoring me with that
Yeah.
one.
That's awesome. So you can go on that site and get all that stuff. And we're actually going to be raffling off, I guess, maybe like a juggling starter kit, whatever you need for juggling to start. We're going to raffle off here on the podcast. So comment on YouTube, JugglinJosh, to enter the raffle.
There you go.
Who are some of your favorite jugglers? Like who?
Well, his hero,
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah,
I
so
mean, your
Vova-
mentor.
Vova
Yeah,
was
right.
definitely always one of my favorite jugglers. So one thing we haven't gotten into yet is the juggling community is often split on sport juggling or performance or art juggling.
Wow, what? I didn't even know that.
Whether juggling's a sport or an art. And so
Oh.
like
they haven't decided on what it is?
Well,
or-
there's 2 major organizations for juggling. There's the International Jugglers Association, and they treat juggling as a performance art. for the most part. They also have some like who can juggle the most competitions, whatever. But their big competition is like you're scored on your performance. So like your costume,
creative,
you're creative. Like you are on stage. There's music. There's costuming. There's lights. The whole thing. Then the World Juggling Federation is just juggling as a sport. So it's just who did the hardest stuff without dropping, basically.
Wow.
So it's more of like an Olympic
I did not
sport.
know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I've competed in both. I have gold medals from both.
Dude, gold
but
medals. Do you wear those around?
No. But I always prefer, I grew up an athlete, so I always, the World Juggling Federation is what really got me into juggling. So the sport side of it is what got me into it. So I've always liked a lot of the sport jugglers more than some of the artistic performance jugglers. So Vova Galchenko was great. Jason Garfield, he's the president of the World Juggling Federation. He's also has a comedy show that he does, on cruises or whatever, and he's just kind of like this, like plays this like jerk, awful human character that's an amplified version of himself.
Kind of like
so
Tony Clifton.
I always thought that was funny. So he and Ivan Pacel was also like, and when I was performing, they were kind of my performing mentors, idols, whatever. But then for pure juggling, it was Vova Galchenko. I mean, Anthony Gatto is the best juggler who's ever lived so far.
I like that first name.
Yeah. So he retired from Cirque du Soleil and is now doing like I think flooring or roofing or something now. So he does that.
Wow.
But he's still by far the best juggler that's ever lived. And
That's
who
awesome.
else? I really like Toby Walker. Toby Walker is one of my favorite jugglers. And then one of my sponsored jugglers, actually I love all of my sponsored jugglers, but Spencer Androli is from the United States. And I think he is going to be the first person who can rival Anthony Gatto. Like he's still young, 21 maybe.
You heard it first.
But he could be the best juggler that's ever lived.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Whoa.
crazy. And you know this guy.
I talked about the declining scale where it's like, you just slow down your progress. Like his progress is just, it's not slowing. Like he just keeps getting better and better.
Whoa, that's really great.
It's pretty exciting.
That's amazing.
When did you start getting into the trick shots in basketball? Was it
Yeah.
that was because of YouTube, or you always are a basketball guy?
I've always been a basketball guy. I like played in high school and I gave up the basketball team to focus on juggling. That's when I started juggling 4 hours a day. So I've always loved it, but like at the time juggling was all I could think about. So focused on juggling, but always loved it. And then, it was when I got into social media. So for a long time, I'd been just posting juggling videos for jugglers. And then when I was like, I could probably make a career of just posting videos, like that sounds great.
Yeah.
I was traveling for halftime shows at the time, which wasn't that fun. And I was like, if I can stay home and make videos, I'll do that. And
Sure.
then the trick shot videos were performing the best, and I liked it. So it was never like I was selling out by doing trick shots. It was fun for me, and they started to do good. And so that was 5-6 years ago.
Well, you do trick shots, plus you have a world record for the fastest. Or you at one point you had I don't know if you still do the world record for the fastest juggling
Basketball bounce.
dribbling
Yeah,
basketball bounce.
I had it for 1 ball, 2 balls, and 3 balls at one point.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh. Can you kind of name off some of your Guinness records that you have? What are they?
Sure. Most marshmallows caught in your mouth in a minute. And a
Whoa.
lot of these have been broken since I've done it. But I'll just
Okay.
at
All
one
right.
point held these records.
Okay.
Longest time to balance a guitar on your head. Longest time, or most
Yes.
most toilet paper rolls balanced on your head. Longest time to juggle 5 basketballs. Longest time to juggle 5 soccer balls. Most
Do you have
bou-
videos of these?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. They're playing now. Didn't you know?
They're always playing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're playing.
Most samurai swords juggled. Most torches juggled on a balance board.
Wow.
There's a few others. That's one I want to try. I want you guys to try. Everyone who sees this record on paper thinks it's so easy, but it's longest time to keep 3 balloons in the air. So just like
That sounds
tapping
yeah.
3 balloons.
that sounds difficult
That
for
sounds
me.
very
Demonstration.
fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll
How
have
many
to try
toilet
it.
paper rolls do you have right now? No, I'm just kidding. How did you balance?
I don't remember. 12, 13
That's
maybe.
a lot of toilet
Yeah.
paper.
And there were like rules on like how fast you had to like get it stacked quickly, or I don't remember. But
The guitar too. Was it sideways or
tall.
on your nose?
Head.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
That
was the-
record, I know that one. I did for like 9 minutes, and the new record is like 48 or something. So I'm never trying that again.
Whoever did that is like watching a sitcom
Yeah.
with a guitar balanced on their head. Wow.
Where can people like figure out how to break records? Like just go on the website and be like,
Yeah, Guinness World Records. You just create an account to see the full library of records. Yeah.
And is that how you'll find one and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to try and beat that?
Yeah, and there's a few other sites too. We always liked Record Setter as well. Record Setter was another site that
That's so
organizes
cool.
it.
You may or may not know this question. I'm going to I want to know eventually.
Yeah.
Why is it Guinness? Where did that come from? Is it the beer?
It started as the beer and is no longer associated. But yeah,
It started with the beer.
Yeah, it started as like a bar. It was like a bar promo thing where a representative from Guinness Beer would like keep track of like who could like who had the longest beard or whatever at the bar. And
Wow.
then it was like in the I don't remember how many years ago. Long time ago.
I'm glad I asked that then.
Yeah.
No question is a dumb question here because it is not rocket science.
It is, yeah.
We're asking and learning, and that's why Matty
We're
has
getting
me here
deep
because
here.
me
Yeah.
ask questions sometime.
So yeah, that's so cool, man, that you've broken all these records. And so going back to kind of the challenge videos, so you got into that by just you enjoyed doing it. And what was the one that really kind of took off or got a bunch of views, and you're like, wow, this is.
Yeah, I did. There was a week period where I had two YouTube videos really take off like crazy. One was with a trick shot cop, a real police officer, LAPD, who loves trick shots, and so we did like a faked
That's
intro, like a
amazing.
faked intro. I thought we were pretty clearly fake, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, this isn't real." But it was like, oh, "Yeah, I know." But anyway, it was like I was playing basketball. And he was like, "You got to leave," and I was like, "I'll play you for horse" or something like that. He was gonna give me a ticket. That was like our hook at the beginning, and so we played horse. And that video did like it was my fastest video to ever hit 1 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
And then at the same time, I had this other video going crazy with this. There's this family of kids. They have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids now, something like that, and they're all really good at trick shots. They're called That's Amazing. They have millions of subscribers on
wow.
YouTube, and I did a video with them at their house, and that video was going crazy at the same time. So it was like
Wow.
two very different trick shot videos, but we're both going crazy at the same time. So that was that point where I was like, oh wow, this is really working.
What is that called? Like, what is that called? Like, is it called like? Is it like I'm a trick shotter now? Like, what is that? What's
Yeah.
that category?
I'm a trick shotter now.
People always
the whole
say
sentence.
that trick shotter. You're a trick shooter. You're not a trick shotter.
I'm a trick shotter now.
So I don't ever say that I'm a trick shotter because that's, I think, grammatically wrong. I don't also say a trick shooter, but I just say a sports creator. Yeah, we make sports videos.
Sports creator.
Yeah, or we make trick shot videos.
I make a trick shot
videos.
shot man. I'm a shot man that does tricks. I shoot trick balls.
I think you should come up with a name, like try and define what that is, because it feels like a new thing. That
There's
like,
a lot, yeah, especially
what I
during
mean?
COVID, a lot of people became trick
shotter.
shooters.
What about sports boy? You're a sports boy. I'm a sports boy for
don't
a
love
living.
that.
That's what I do. I do sports boys. What, you don't know what that is?
Well, yeah. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So we're gonna do some trick shot videos, right? We're gonna do some
trick
challenges.
shooting. Yeah,
Well, I didn't wear
Yeah.
this jersey for nothing, I hope.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna set some stuff up, and we're gonna see.
Yeah.
I make everything a challenge, so I think we're gonna have a challenge between you two.
I'm
Between us?
excited.
Yeah.
Challenges.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
feel
cool.
like you're a pro. Maybe but I would love if whoever wins or something, you will join and we face
I'm like I'm the ultimate challenger.
face the king.
boss.
We face the sport
Oh
boy.
yeah, that's a good
Okay.
idea. All right, cool. Yeah, so all right, so we're gonna go do some trick shots and some challenges.
This part will be really good to everyone who's listening
Yeah.
audio only.
Yeah.
I challenge you, audio only, to close your eyes and imagine. But when you are imagining, I want my muscles to be very strong, and I want my hair to be flowing in the wind. So don't you dare not think that.
And I want you to imagine me with a cape on.
But with clothes as well. Matty, he gets weird sometimes.
All right, well, let's go do some trick shots and some challenges, because after all, it's not what, Anthony?
It's not just trick
It's
shot.
not rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
Okay, cool. So here we are with Josh, the trick shot king.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. What are we doing here?
This is my hoop tower. 7 hoops. You guys are gonna go shot for shot. First person to make it through all 7 wins a point, and the loser has a punishment.
Yes, and the loser has to wear something from this bag the rest of the shoot.
Oh!
Here goes something. I wouldn't say nothing. It is something. Something to see. First. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. You got it?
There you go. Oh, that was almost it.
Here you go.
Oh. He does it! All right.
I did it!
I'm gonna close my eyes and pick something that I have to wear. Okay, what do we got here?
2 wigs. He's got to wear 2 wigs, folks. Nice. Looking good, actually. The 2-wig challenge. It's a nice look for you, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing you more like that. It's like an elegant lady hat. He's going to the Kentucky Derby.
All right, cool.
Next up, we have a ping pong race. You have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, and then first person to make it in the pink cup wins. 1, 2. 3. Oh!
I'm good at this.
You got long arms. Oh!
Yeah!
All right, you get a point, and you get a costume.
What the heck is this thing? Oh, a cape, like you said earlier. I hope this cape is not the one he uses when he's just wearing a cape, that weirdo. So I'm wearing cape with blue clown hair.
All right, fellas, you've seen cup stacking where they stack and unstack cups quickly. We're doing that, but with giant cups, or buckets, as you pointed out before, buckets.
My son knows I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm a winning champion, right, boy? I love you, Zane. I'm winning for you, boy. This guy's a nobody class, isn't he? Oh, God. I didn't. The Academy. Okay,
I explained this to you before we started, and you both did it in the worst possible technique. Look,
I was thanking people.
Watch this. I'm about to blow your mind. Watch this.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was doing exactly the same.
I explained it, and then they both are just individually taking one up. And just rookie technique.
Failed our sensei.
They've clearly never stacked buckets before.
Oh, cute.
right.
What is that?
Wizard hat.
Ah. Boy.
Now I'm gonna win because I'm magic. All right,
Wait, is that
let's
true?
try juggling.
Are you magic now? Well, that ain't fair to me, buddy. He's magic? I can't play somebody who does magic.
Our pal Josh is gonna show us some of his juggling skills.
You have permission to use this as long as there's no circus music, okay? Not joking. All right, next challenge is, well, first of all, score. You've 2 points. You have 1 point. Okay. The good news is this one is worth 1,000,000 points. So it's anyone's game. The bad news is I'm competing this time. Okay, we're gonna see who can juggle the longest. You have 3 balls, you have 3 balls, I have 5 basketballs.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Matty, did you stop?
Yeah.
Did I win?
You won.
Nice.
Oh man.
So I won 1,000,000 points. So I won the challenge. Great. After reviewing the footage, last place goes to Matty. I'm sorry,
Oh
Matty.
my
Here we go.
God.
Okay. So last punishment.
Oh man. Oh, that's a cool shark.
It's what losing looks like.
In my eyes, I'm still a winner. Look, I can juggle in the shark costume.
You sure can, Matty. You sure can.
All right, well, that's been our show. Thank you, Josh, so much for bringing us out here and showing us your tricks.
Thanks for having
and
me.
your juggling.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Just kind of one last question here. What advice would you give a juggler?
Perfect practice makes perfect. Don't just practice and develop bad habits.
I like that. Sounds
Yeah.
like Yoda.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. And where can people find you?
At JugglinJosh on every social media platform.
Oh, nice. Cool. And do you have any closing remarks? And do you think maybe next time I'll win?
I do want to see a rematch, I would say. So
Okay.
you guys are welcome back
Thank you.
for the sequel.
Thank you.
If you're willing to sacrifice, the potential of losing your title.
My title is up for grabs, folks. I will.
Wait, sorry, no, I won.
Oh,
I
wait,
won
you're
a million
right.
points. Never mind. You guys can still come
yeah.
back. Yeah, I'll let you back.
Okay.
How dare us?
Okay. All right. Well, the juggling king. He's the best. Thank you so much, Josh. High five. Thank you, sir.
Other one, please. No, that one. I'm just kidding.
All right. Cool. Juggling. It's not what, Anthony?
What's that now? What's that, friend? What are you in there, Matty?
That's our show. Thanks for watching.
It's not rocket science.
Not rocket science. Science. Not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science.